Yeah. It's Saturday evening or afternoon. What's called this afternoon? Evening is what between 4 and 6.
Evening, yeah, it's usually after 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, we usually on that.
So we might be a little ahead of that tickle there.
Just a little bit.
What's going on, y'all? It's Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. It's me, T the Chef, the right hand man, Jaycutta.
What's happening?
We back. Had to miss you last week, big dog. I had a wedding I had to get through with. Man, it was good. It was real good. Shout out to my niece Allyssa Williams. Now, her and Stevie got married, and that was a beautiful thing there. And man, I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of a lot of good compliments and all. But as I was telling everybody, that was my last wedding, unless my children get married, or I live long enough to see one of my grandkids get married. But that was it. Right. So it's time to move on this trek. But first thing first, I did want to let everybody know that we did cancel the unwind mixer, and I had a few people tag in and ask me questions as to why, but it's more of a branding move. Seeing that this is, I think, episode 8 into our podcast, really trying to get it out there so people understand what we're trying to do. So it wasn't gelling for me as to how it was proceeding. It was moving kind of slow, and I don't really I get kind of antsy with that. And then there was so many questions as to what it was that even when I try to explain it, it was still confusion. So we're gonna cancel that for right now, but do be looking for us to do some things to get the businesses around here active outside of their normal platforms. Mm-hmm. So other than that, what you got going on, Killer?
Man, trying to stay alive.
Definitely.
Yeah. Plate stay full like a buffet at a soul food spot. So I'm trying to scrape off a little cornbread.
Cornbread?
Yeah, so I can have a little room for some yams. I'm trying to get some of the stuff off my plate so I can get to my dessert. But just on the grind. Trying to get multiple streams of income and information to be some type of influence while I'm still here, while I'm yet breathing.
Yeah.
Just kind of trying to be some type of, positive influence, man. Something to build off of, because it's not a lot. And, shout out to the brothers and sisters that are doing what they can. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Much respect, because it's tough balancing that and life. So, just for being able to incorporate it, you know what I'm saying? That's big. So
yes, sir.
But yeah, other than that, and just maintaining, shout out to my wife. She fighting for it. You know what I'm saying? Keep fighting. You know what I mean?
Right.
Trying to, be in the best position possible. So that's what we're doing over here on the Adams side. We just trying to do what we can do.
Right. And that's all you really can, hope for these days, that you got enough in the tank to do what's necessary or what we feel is necessary to take care of the responsibilities that we have. We ain't ducking and dodging nothing. You got to take it on full plate. Like I say, and it'll probably be down the road in the men's mental health episode, but it ain't no room for complaints and crying and telling everybody how you feel. It's just when it comes down to, especially when you're a daddy, hey man, it's a whole. It don't even. I know when you watch social media or you just talk about life in general, a lot of people's talking about the pressures of the mom, but nobody talks about the sacrifices of the dad. And trust me, we sacrifice a lot. You know,
Yeah.
them 3 o'clock mornings, 12-hour days. That you really don't get no break in that.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, ain't no crying and complaining. It's reality. So,
Yeah.
but tonight, we're gonna talk about legacy and what you are doing to cement yours. In my course of just bringing up this topic, the last time me and Jay was sitting around trying to figure out, what topics we was gonna come up with, I kind of like this one for the simple fact is it will challenge you to do a little diving. And when people most times they think about legacy, it's always in monetary form that you have to give off this and this and this for generations and generations to act on. And I found that not to be even close to the truth. It's not about simply wealth building or wealth management. Legacy actually is you can use traditions that have been passed down from generation to generation. How your family operates, with their core values and their faith is leaving legacy. So when as fathers and both of us being grandfathers too, it's how we go about treating the people that we come in contact with every day. So not only our kids, but our grandkids get to see, okay, well that's how Papa J operate, or you know what I mean. So they know how to do the same things, and that's passing legacy. So we get out of the mindset that it's strictly about money. It's more of a way of how you act, not necessarily what's in your wallet. So coming up with that, you got to look at things that you could do to challenge yourself to leave a positive one. And I looked at it from, I know I'm not a rich man. I give. I've been giving. I always figure out some way to handle my little piece of philanthropy to give back. But in doing that, my kids actually got to see me do it. And from time to time, I get out with my granddaughter. She get to see me do it. And usually they're with me. In some form or fashion, when we are feeding people and things like that, they're helping me hand out stuff, so they see it. So that is me building the legacy that I want to pass on, and if they take it on, they take it on. But I don't want them to ever feel like they gotta do it. You know what I mean? Right, because at the same point, they got their lives, and that's because I was watching a gentleman the other day, and he was saying, we like to say we're building businesses for our kids and all that. He said, but have you ever had a real conversation and sat down with them to see if this is something they even want to pursue if you're not here?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? In mindset, we think, oh, it just pass on to this. But if they don't have that mindset, especially if you got something where you having to sell, most people aren't salesmen. So they ain't even have a passion for that. So what the business just, it goes to the right. So you have to make sure that they are in line with that. And if not, make it so whatever, if something does happen to you and they don't want it, it can be sold off for what its value is, what its actual value is, and then let them turn into what they want to do. Because you're no longer here. You know what I mean? So that in turn can spawn a legacy. Yeah. So it's different ways to go about it. And
so with that, what you just said, See, back in the day, there were less opportunities. So when something was established in a family, it made it easy
Right,
to
right.
function. You had a way to make money. You had a way to live, a way to get this and do this. So it was already kind of set. But see, now at such an early age, you're seeing so many different avenues of what I could do, what I could be, what I could get into, this, that, and the other.
Right.
It's, you know what I'm saying? It's almost hard to get something passed down, like a business wise or something like that, when there's so much freedom of choice.
Now, yeah,
that's going on now that wasn't back
wasn't a
then.
choice back then.
You know what I'm saying?
If we were sharecroppers, you sharecroppers.
That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would literally have to write something in like, hey, you must do this to get the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or if you stray away from this plan right here, you won't get anything.
Right.
You know, you have to do that now. You have to force feed to make it monetary. But see, what you said earlier, we was talking about how leaving a legacy of character meant a lot, because if you were a jerk your whole life, I don't care how much money you made, how much you left, whatever you may have left, whatever items or whatever was sentimental to you that you left, that you hope would be sentimental to someone else. If you're a jerk, they're going to sell your stuff. Number one, because no one wants to remember you.
Right.
They don't want to keep going over the shit they went through with you. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you leave, make sure that you're leaving a pleasant smell in the place when you leave this earth.
Right.
You got to leave a pleasant smell, because, like, God, if you were, like I say, if you were a terrible person, guess what?
They sell your shit automatically.
They off the top. Why you in the bed?
Hold on. They buried him at 6:15. They having an auction.
But while you were sick, they was lining cats up. The brown one. You get the brown one? Right. Got you.
Yeah.
Call me. Yeah. How you doing? You know what I'm saying?
How you doing?
They in the spot, you know? Yeah, that attitude is, man, I'm telling you, man. A dude said attitude is altitude, man. I always remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Because when your attitude bad, you do feel down. You know what I'm saying?
And most times you are down. You don't know
and you
it.
want to pull someone else down because you
exactly. Now you will have a bunch of flashing material shit to make you feel like you up.
Right.
But you know it ain't nothing but a flash and a bang, and you on the ground.
Right.
Again.
That's why the people with all that stuff end up shooting themselves and all this other stuff, taking overdoses and all this other shit. You got all this stuff around you. You got all the stuff people are working for in your possession.
And miserable.
Exactly, because you have nothing. You have no substance.
No substance, man.
You know what I'm saying? You got all image around you. But yeah.
It's just...
I was just, kind of agreeing on what you said there.
Yeah, I like that. I like the way you went into it, because it makes sense. Like, shit, if you been an asshole your whole life, they're going to be like, oh, shit. He coming?
Right.
Which one you want?
You see what I'm saying?
The blue one or the black one?
Yes. And we're going to split the house.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're going to hurry up and get rid of your shit, man.
Yeah, because of the bad memories and thoughts, man.
Right.
Folks aren't, you know what I'm saying?
And so that, and that's what I was talking. Matter of fact, I was standing there having a conversation with my daughter and my wife last weekend. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was saying to her, because I was like, her baby brother, which is my son, he in a space right now where he's doing well. I mean, he's a senior in high school and a college student at the same time. And this is what he want to go into, and I see him doing well. So whatever the family has going on, I don't see him taking that over. At least not right now. You know what I'm saying? With my daughter, to me, she's always been a jack of all trades. But I think she would work well in the stuff that I'm trying to do for the simple, simply because of her personality. She smiles, you gonna smile. Right. You know what I mean? So she has that bubbliness to her, and me and her work together. So when I got a food event or something right now, she's with me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So she sees how to handle certain prep situations, everything that come along with it. Mm-hmm. So I like I say, as this thing builds, I see her if she doesn't take it over, her being heavily involved. Okay. And then we're just gonna see what it's gonna do. That's the way I see it, at this point. But I want them to more to understand, how to deal with people. And when I say that, like I tell anybody, and anybody that really knows me, I don't mind helping anybody. One, you're gonna have to work on helping yourself too. I'm not gonna do the work for you. Right. That ain't gonna happen. Right. But and them seeing that and learning how to help, don't let nobody take advantage of it. So, they learning. So like I said, that sets them up. Like I said, the life that I hope to leave, they'll take on and be like, okay, well, Daddy used to do this, so we're gonna carry on and do the same thing. And anybody know me, the biggest thing I had going on really was my Thanksgiving dinner, which I've been doing since '98. Right. In the last couple of years, it done kind of slowed itself down because so many other organizations got involved. But there's still people who are shut in that can't get out. That we still, we make a move to make sure they eat. Right. So, and just to work with the people on the street. Man, I get Fridays off now. Ain't nothing for me to put together 20-25 bottles and just hit the street. You know what I mean? So it's always that thing. So that's my biggest thing to give them. It's up to you guys if you want to carry it. And if you don't, it's not going to crush me because you got your own dreams. Yeah. This is me doing what I knew to do. So.
But with what you just said, passing down the respect of the thing is really the key. Because if they respect what you did, they will entertain how to incorporate it in what they have going
on.
Know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If they respect what you were doing. So a lot of times that's where we fall short with each other, is that it's not that I don't want to take over. It's just I don't see the need for it like you do. So you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they got to kind of get inner workings and figure out why you doing what you're doing, so that make them respect what you're doing, and then it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. We need that. So let me go ahead and you know what I'm saying? Right. So it'll kind of push them to throw their ideas in it, and it'll boom because it'll fit the times.
And it's and what you saying that I was watching something this morning and. Something that lets you know that money isn't everything. I always watch this series called The Men Who Built America. And it was about J.P. Morgan, Carnegie, Vanderbilt, Rockefeller. Okay. At one time, Vanderbilt net worth in today's money would have been about, I think it said somewhere around $150 billion. Okay.
Paid.
Right. This because they were big in the railroads and all this kind of stuff, right? Okay. Rockefeller's net worth, before they made him split up Standard Oil, was somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 billion.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Vanderbilt's, in a sense, they said within 3 generations, lost most of their fortune. Okay, because they hooked it into everything being of cash value, this paper money that you could put your hands on. So people just, and it just faded away, right? Yeah. But with the Rockefellers, John D., especially after they made him split Standard Oil and all these little companies, right? He puts all his stuff in a trust. Okay? So now, they said there's up to 200 descendants or the Rockefellers after him could pull from this trust. It's never going to mess with their money. It's just the access or the compound interest off of what they already had goes into over here. So whatever you want to do You come up with some bright idea, you pull from that. We never lose this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're not seeing them sell off no assets because they will continuously own stuff.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it becomes a mind thing, and like for me, that's why you may see me on my phone a lot. Most of the time I'm reading. I'm reading something that I don't know anything about. You know what I'm saying? Like these trusts and how people have really built legacies because they were just smart. They learned the tax codes. They learned everything so that their families would never, if they played it right, would never have to worry about anything from a money standpoint or owning anything.
Yeah.
And that's that. It just like wow, like this is information that I'm glad that somebody's putting out that we can start to learn. How to move.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know.
Well, and part of it comes in that it's the thing that we have to get a balance. First of all, we have too much hate, and it takes over the balance because I don't care if you like the system or not. You must master it to survive. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. You need to know the rules.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like a lot of times, I ain't know that white man stuff, this, that, the other. We get to saying all that stuff like that, but it's like, okay, but you still chasing money though. It's like make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't want the tactics, but you want to win. I'm trying to figure this thing out.
I hate to cut you off, but I'm going to interject this real quick.
Go ahead.
You got two choices. Either you learn to master that system, or you dismantle the old system completely to the ground. Right. And that's not going to happen.
Right. And you can't do that and survive.
Right. They're going to knock you off.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. So you got to learn how to master within that realm that you got.
Yeah.
Just like you saying, you got to learn how to master that. Yeah. So I didn't mean to cut you off for that, but it was in my thought process.
You got to get it out
before I left.
We're not as young as we were.
No, sir.
I get it. Hey.
You better get it out, boy. It'd be a brain fart. You be thinking,
people like, boy, I was going to say
something.
It'll come back to you. That's what we try to do.
It'll be Tuesday. Right. Boy, I knew what I was going to teach.
Oh, God. Hey, we'll put it on part two. Put it on part two.
We're going to come back with it. But you spot on. You gonna have to learn how to master this system.
Yeah.
And like I say, you got one or two choices: either master it or dismantle it. And dismantling it ain't even really an option. You just don't. It's not gonna happen. Yeah. There's too many things in play for it to happen. So you learn how to master it, just like you say. Yeah. And I think. Before we was talking before we hit the record. You have to learn how to manage, especially not just time management, learn how to master your finances.
Yeah.
If you master your finances and get your money to work for you instead of you working for your money,
yeah.
This thing gets just a little bit easier.
A little bit easier, yeah.
You know what I mean?
A little more sunshine.
A little bit more sunshine. Trust me. I've been through it. I've been through the more hard times than anybody I would like to tell you. Trust me. The hair got so bad for us, but we was picking which Mr. P's pizza we was eating that night and which bag of tater chips.
Match it up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You gonna fold it in half with the tater chips inside. Make it have a little crunch. Yeah. Huh? Listen, and we picking out Kool-Aid.
Shout out to Washington Street. Hey, he took it back.
But that's how bad it had got for us.
Yeah.
But the thing about it was, my kids didn't feel none of it. They had no idea what we were struggling through. They was happy. Right. You know what I mean? They still had a house, roof over their head. They still could go and do things. They had no clue until we got it right. And then they started to say, ooh, okay, well, this year, we ain't going to just go to the water park. we're going to actually go see Mickey Mouse.
Right.
And then I got to see Mickey Mouse a couple times a year. Then we just going to the damn resort just to hang out. You know, it built itself into what it was, but we had to go through it.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I jotted down a couple of things.
Go right ahead, my brother.
It's really on what we're speaking on. I had a kind of thought about it when so if you're not in this thing for the fame of it, because a lot of times people want to be heard and seen above being effective. So if you're not in it for the fame or rewards, the reward will be greater.
Of course.
If you're not looking for it,
right,
it finds you in different areas. So
right.
it becomes a lot greater.
Gotcha.
In order to influence your people, you must first understand your people. Understand who you're dealing with. A lot of times we want to tell people how we think about stuff or how we feel about something, and we don't even know who we're talking to. We don't even know their angle, their aim, you know what I'm saying?
Thought process.
The level of thought. We don't even know that.
Gotcha.
We could be spitting something and they're looking at us like, we're Spanish. They're like, huh?
Huh?
But we're thinking it's the simplest thing in the world, but it's just, that's kind of how different levels we have. And then know what it is to be where they are, regardless of where that is. Because we were looking at, like you were talking about the philanthropy earlier, but see, the definition was like, it said a desire to promote the welfare of others.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if your desire is missing, so is the level of your character in philanthropy, your character in your legacy. If you don't have a desire to see others do well,
right?
You know what I'm saying? None of this stuff can happen for you.
And then on top of that, it's going to show.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is, I could write a check to anybody.
Right.
Huh. Nah, I chose to get on the street. I chose to be involved. So you can see what's going on, because there's a lot of folks out there who don't want to be out there.
Yeah.
But there are also folks out there, that's their hustle.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get it. I know people like, man, I don't know if I give them something that's going in the right place. Well, you give money every quarter to Congress. You give everything to your state senator. What they doing for you? You get what I'm saying?
At you crazy.
Right. So it's like, what $2 gonna hurt me if I know that's gonna get somebody something to eat? Matter of fact, if you don't trust them, give them $2. Just run through the drive-through real quick. Tell them, give it. You're gonna see what they're gonna do with it.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you one quick story real quick. When I worked for Hotspot, that was way back in the day. That's like 93 action, right?
Dang, yeah.
When I was on the midnight to 8 o'clock in the morning shift, and this dude come in there, and me and him got to be cool, but he was on the street. Mm-hmm. He said, "Big man," he said, "I'm gonna be honest with you." He said, "I need $1.04."
2 hot dogs. What did he get?
He want the King Cobra.
Come on with it.
Hold on, but he was honest. He said,
he told you up front.
He said, "I'm gonna give me a beer."
Okay.
Okay. I wasn't mad at that.
Right.
I said, old school. There you go, man. You know what I mean? And what made it so bad? I did give him the 2 hot dog specials that they used to have in the back.
$200. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I got him one of that from Miss Libby. Miss Libby was got him that, and he got him a King Cobra, and he went on to the house.
What they know about
but that's I could be cool with old school like that because he was straight up with me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, not to get too far from that legacy thing, that's me building a legacy. To me.
Yeah, because that's somebody you don't know.
You don't know
their background.
Can't do nothing for me.
And you don't know who they're connected with. You don't know who you about to see that might be connected to them. Because, I found something out about that homeless deal. A lot of times, the homeless people are just the ones who made the bad decisions. But see, they be plugged in with a lot of prominent people. They just choose to be off the grid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing that people do not understand. Yeah. This right here is going to hit you in the mouth. There's more people right now living in homes with no food than there are people on the street.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So you think like, damn, how did that make sense? Yeah, it does.
Because you got the house, you can't afford
to eat.
Do nothing else.
And that's reality.
Yeah.
So it's more than the people that I see on the street. It's a lot of folks that even when I was rehabbing and recovering from the illness that I had to go through, just so happened at that same time, that's when the chicken farm started doing their chicken sales. Remember they was
by the cases and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So because they couldn't move it.
You know they came to the barbershop.
Right.
I remember that.
So this what happened. Oh, okay, I can get 40 pounds of chicken legs for $25. Yeah. How many you want? Oh shit, give me 2. Take them home, wash them up, bag them up, man. Put 8 chicken legs to a bag. Another, get a family something. Had reached out to a few folks, got some canned goods, get some beans, some rice, put them in a bag. Hey man, come out of the house. I ain't gotta know your business. If you're hungry though, or your kids hungry, this is all I can do. Yeah, and I was rehabbing myself,
but it'll fill your belly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always gonna be that.
Yeah,
you got to get to it.
It's always a way to do it.
It's always a way to do it. It has, like I say at the end, what people don't understand, it has nothing to do with money at all.
No.
So
it doesn't.
We just got to jump on it, man. Just keep doing what we do. Because that, and you could attest to that, because for a lot of them years, what happened? Thanksgiving Day, who at my house? First thing in the morning.
With the biscuits.
Coming with the breakfast biscuits. As we were delivering stuff to the church. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we were doing every Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah, coming to work, man.
Right.
I brought breakfast so we can work, man. Let's get it.
And but that's the whole thing, man. We gonna jump back into that.
Yeah.
Like we always do.
But that's something I always admired, though. I admired that because I didn't have it in me to take it out of my schedule to prepare those kind of things. I would always be like, oh, what you need? See, I would always be that guy, but I never was the one who could plan something like that. So I always admired it. That's why when I have a basketball team, I was like, yo, you still need some volunteers. Boom.
Yeah.
We coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I can help on that side.
Right.
But I'm terrible as a planner sometimes.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
But that's the whole
things like
you know
that.
what though? What you gotta understand is that's how blessings work. Because the original one was never planned. You get what I'm saying? True. It started from me giving out meals on Washington Street in 1 year after Thanksgiving to the next year. I was doing it off underneath my mom and dad's carport, and it stayed in there for a few years. And luckily, every year
carport used to jump, baby.
Right, every year we never had no rain. The sun was always out. You know what I mean? And
it was nice. That's crazy. It was nice.
Then it graduated into the church.
Yeah.
It never had no bad weather, ever.
Dang, that is a trip.
You get what I'm saying? It's funny, ain't it? It never rained. None of that.
Dang.
For all those years. So it was like, I feel like I've been blessed. You know what I mean? I've been blessed. Yeah. But that's going to be part of the legacy we'll cement together, because as this podcast grows, you're going to see us in the streets.
Right.
That's just, matter of fact, when you dropped off my book yesterday, that's the first thing I said. We're going to have to start, we're going to have to make this ride.
Yeah, we got to get out.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when you see us, know that's what we're going to be doing, man, because community is big with the both of us, and family is big with the both of us. So I'm game. I'm ready.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is, bro.
I tell you. It's these days we having too. These last days are tough. We little afternoon. You understand me?
Yeah. Some of that grown folk.
A little bit of scratching that.
This show is not for children.
You know? Hey. So like I had one more little thing I jotted down.
Go for it.
One of the things that I saw, and this like when I really speak on stuff like this, it's stuff I had to deal with me about first. So,
Okay.
remember, it's not about you but others.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? But that's big though, because you have to think. You're so trained to every decision that you make, you're thinking about how it's going to affect you and yours. You have to now retrain your thinking to where you consider others outside of your box that you've been having to, you know what I'm saying, just
right.
deal with and be responsible for.
Gotcha.
So it was like, yeah, but make sure you take care of you, but just don't be all about you that it stalls out what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
a lot of legacies begin, but they get stalled out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like we get overwhelmed with because the word legacy sounds so big. You know what I'm saying? It sounds huge. It's like, damn, I should start on this 10 years ago.
Man, you can start on that joke in the next 2 minutes.
Right. And it's like we have so many sideways definitions of the word. That's really most of the stuff that gets us, is that our definitions are whack of certain words. And because it's been used that way. Because
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how they have the separation of classes, to the point to where if you have money, you can create legacies. But they don't promote legacies in the poor areas or middle class down. They don't promote legacies.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's almost like
you just got to be on the grind and get by. Right. You cannot do anything for anybody else.
You can't do nothing but work.
That's it. Nah.
Yeah. So it's like,
we ain't doing that.
I jotted down a couple more things, and then this is all I have on. But you can start your own programs for your people, just like what you're talking about. That's a program. That's a feeding. That's soup kitchen status. You know what I'm saying? But,
right.
But it's something. But it's more than that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's other things tied to it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's starting some programs that we can do without having government funding, because you can't always get government funding. Sometimes you, depending on what arena you're in, you may have to be started for up to 2 years before you can get sponsorship from the government. So a lot of the things and ways that we want to help, they don't allow you to help initially. They want to see what you're doing and how serious you are about it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, like,
that
makes sense though.
Yeah, because it's just like the same way with my youth football team. A lot of people didn't kick in until they saw, 2-3 years down the road, these boys still running. So now I'm gonna get involved, because I didn't want them to be, I'm gonna throw something at them and then they disappear next year.
Because there's so many people come and go. They talk your head off till you get involved, and then they really had no intention of making it long term.
They just wanted that quick hustle.
Right. So, brings me to my next part. Become a reliable source of info that is needed. Don't waste your voice and your mind. And so it's like, if you have never witnessed any successful people in person, find some. It's not hard to do.
Definitely find your mentor.
You know what I'm saying? We've lost that because we got into the I and me phase of life. We forgot about there is someone that's done what you're trying to do.
Yes, sir.
That can help answer some of those questions that you keep messing up stuff with, because you're doing your own thing. And your pride won't let you ask because you feel like a failure. So it's just a lot of areas we as men, especially men. I'm not saying this towards, I'm not on the women right now, but this is really, really, really on the men, because we have so much pride. It's just freaking ridiculous.
Man, to ask for help, be like, I can't do it.
And that's my very next thing. There must be a change in you before any of your works can be done. There's nothing we can do out here in these streets if we haven't dealt with us in our own house and our own self.
And it's rarely you're going to be able to do anything solo. No matter how much you want it to be your own.
Right.
Without a small team, it's just about impossible.
For real. For real.
You know. Yeah. And that's real. That's so real.
And last little quote is discipline. That's the last thing I put on there. Because discipline is a key component to having leaving a legacy, having one. Because like the difference in philanthropy and legacy is that philanthropy is more broad. Legacy is more personal. Because it's, you know what I'm saying? It's literally attached to you. But philanthropy is connected to an idea. But legacy is connected to you. It's you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
When they see it and hear it, they be like, oh, I remember why, he was on it like that. You know what I mean? He stayed that way. And so that was kind of like what I had on that, because they're sometimes trained in what to do to receive or continue one's legacy only if they respect what the person was doing. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because if they don't respect what you do, they're for sure not going to repeat it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to waste their time. They're like, I didn't even like it myself, and I was here.
Right.
You know,
so there's no point of me riding on with it.
You hear me? Yeah.
He finished doing it, so there it is. I'm done.
It died.
It died. That's one of the things. Like I say, man, it makes a ton of sense, and
yeah,
that's the one thing about this podcast. Even when we don't intentionally try to make sense, it just works out that way.
Yeah.
And going back to that, the spot where you're talking about asking for help. Matter of fact, the business class the entrepreneurship class I'm taking now, we had a guy come and speak to us Monday, and dude was, he was just straightforward, but he said he was saying the same thing, man. Get you somebody who don't mind sharing information about where you're trying to get to,
right?
Because they've already been through that road, so they can help you navigate. Because as much as we want the grind to be so, and I put in this much work and I work this hard and da. Sometimes you just spinning your wheels.
I'll take it easy if you can get to me.
That's what I'm saying. Like you trying to do all this, make this big loop. You could have just went straight forward a few feet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here goes somebody that's going to show you how to get from here to here without going all the way around there.
Right.
Just makes sense.
Yeah, you drove to Spartanburg to go to Greg. Yes, sir. You didn't know about Wayhampton. Hey.
Didn't know nothing about Wayhampton. This nigga took the loop. We went down 417, 221 all the way around. And all he had to do was get on 29.
Straight up. Boom. Come to the heart of it. Yes,
but that's spot on, man. You definitely need mentors.
Yeah.
And one thing about a mentor, do not let age be your thing.
Right.
So we always say mentor is somebody who's older, who's up here. Nah, man, you can learn a lot from these young folks. Okay?
Yeah.
A lot.
It's a lot of strong brothers and sisters out here right now. That's got plenty of sense. You would think they were old school kids. You know what I'm saying? Or young people, you like, you was raised by your grandma. Wait, your granddaddy. You know what I mean? You were raised by the old people. You know, but it's just like some people get it. Some people have to run into it. So some people can see other people's mistakes and not make them twice. Some people have to ride out their mindset because they're like, I know I'm right. Even though I'm failing like hell, I'm right. So sometimes they want to exercise their right to hit the wall. Fine. Go ahead and get your knots and your lumps. Break whatever bones you're going to break. And then when you're finished, crawl your butt back over here and listen to what I was trying to tell you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, but we go through unnecessary stuff. That's why I was like, man, look here. When it came to certain things, there are certain people I call.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because that's their area. They've stamped it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just like whenever it was time, we was thinking about gathering up clothes for the homeless. for the less fortunate, just for anybody struggling, period, really.
Right.
Socks and toothpaste, everything.
All that.
Just, school supply, all the kind of stuff we've been doing over the years. But see, I went to the person who I know is plugged in.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because, it wasn't a glory moment for me. I wasn't trying to get that. You dig what I'm saying?
People
That's
never
where we
understand
fall at, because some people want the glory. I don't need the glory off that. Just let me participate.
Yeah.
And you ain't even got to tell nobody that I gave.
Man, I tell you like
I just need for it to work.
Real quick, because this thing keep flashing saying we're about to run out of storage. But at any rate, here goes something that's funny to me.
What's that?
People are now taking people's plights and putting them on social media and getting paid off of it.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? When, if you go back, it's me at, Dodge City, it's After Dark Riders, Unique Divas, Southern Divas, D25 Social Club, all these folks. I mean, it's so many that I know I'm going to miss some names in there, but they have been feeding folks and doing stuff like that for years. Never put nobody on blast, put them in front of no camera or anything. And now these cats out here doing it and getting paid to do it. You get what I'm saying in a sense? And it's just like it takes the whole thunder out of it. Like where it was just heart to heart, is now something for somebody to do and get that off of it. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of
it's taken over. Money has taken over the morals and the value system now. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like if you're old school, you can tell. Right. Just being around people, you could tell what generation you were, what time you were brought up, or different things. I'm not saying every single time, but majority of the time, you can tell when a person was raised and how they were and by who, because of how they deal with issues, how they deal with things that come at them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like say, everything's money value now. So it's like, what can you do for me? If you can't do nothing for me, I can't rock with you.
It's that time where we had to change it up, and that's what we're gonna have to. We're gonna try to do. So
men have become lovers of themselves, man. Ain't nothing but the script. That's all that is. That's all it is.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna take a sip of this, and we're gonna see you guys next week.
Sure.
I don't even know what topic we got on next week. Well, we done that one, so. Might have to slide the book. Okay, we gonna come up with it. How about that? Hey man, I love you guys. I wish you to have a great week. We'll see you back here next week. And you got anything for them?
Peace and blessings. Take care of each other.
All right, man. Catch y'all later.
Holla.